The Flash is the newest offering from DC and stars Ezra Miller as The Flash. Who would have thunk it? Michael Keaton as Batman, Sasha Calle as Supergirl, and so many more. And no, trust me, I mean that. Worlds collide when The Flash uses his superpowers to travel back in time to change the events of the past. However, when his attempt to save his family inadvertently alters the future, he becomes trapped in a reality in which General Zod has returned, threatening annihilation. With no other superheroes to turn to, The Flash looks to coax a very different Batman out of retirement and rescue an imprisoned Kryptonian, albeit not the one he's looking for. Listen, I went in with low expectations because I do not think that it is a controversial statement to say that DC has not had a great run.
Find him! Save Martha! What the fuck?
Listen, I love DC more than Marvel. Not saying that Marvel sucks. It's just that DC's mythologies, their lore, and characters just hit differently for me. But when it comes to DC films, yeah, most of them have really stunk. So how does The Flash compare to the rest of its DC counterparts? It's not good. Sorry. Like I said, I went in with low expectations, and still somehow this movie just did not achieve anything for me. But before I roast this film, let me get the good out of the way. I think this movie definitely had a few aspects that, if they just focused on those things more, would have led to a more meaningful experience. I like all the stuff with Supergirl, Batman, Michael Keaton specifically, but they also do Ben Affleck a lot of justice. This is easily Ben Affleck's best time as Batman, and it really sucks that it's only 10 minutes. Oh god. And of course, anything that connects to its comic book inspiration. Flashpoint, for those of you who aren't really into comic books like that, this movie is a adaptation of that story. All Warner Brothers had to do was follow the Flashpoint plot and change some small details in order to fit this particular timeline. But no, we need to connect this movie to Man of Steel for some reason. And also have a villain that we've never seen before show up near the end of the movie. I won't spoil details because I'm not that kind of reviewer. I want you to experience this movie as blind as possible if you decide to go and watch it. But yeah, this movie is just a total mess. Once again, Warner Brothers believes that the way to create a great origin film is to have a bloated script with way too many characters and way too many plot lines, instead of having a film be solely about the protagonist and their connection with the antagonist. This is why films like The Batman work. They establish who our main character is, and also establish their struggle to defeat the villain, creating a compelling cat and mouse chase that leads to interesting revelations. The Flash is just, literally, it's just, hey, remember this DC movie? Yeah, that was great, wasn't it? And remember this DC movie? Forget about him. Don't worry about him. He don't worry about him. Gosh, weren't those films so good? This movie has many moments where it begins to hook me. It actually manages to get me interested in something. But then it's all ruined by either some cameo or some of the worst VFX I have seen in a blockbuster franchise film. The trailers did not lie, guys. These shots look even worse on an IMAX screen. Every weird, uncanny valley look is amplified by the giant screen. I honestly believe that this movie will be so much better on regular TVs, as you won't be able to spot smaller blunders as easily. And honestly, I think a lot could be forgiven if I actually liked Barry. I'm sorry guys, but I just don't accept Ezra Miller as Barry. I never have accepted them as Barry. And after this movie, I don't think I ever will accept them as Barry. I'm not saying that Ezra Miller is a bad actor, because I've seen them in other films, and I think that they're very good in those movies. But as Barry, I just don't think they're the right choice. Barry is quirky and funny, and he does crack a lot of jokes, but he's always been more of a very confident person in how he delivers his wisecracking puns or whatever, or at least the more modern version of Barry is like that. And I just don't like the way that Ezra Miller has been doing Barry. I don't like this very fidgety kind of like, oh, I'm very antisocial and everything. And this movie kind of tries to explain it in like oh, I lost my mom when I was very young, so now I'm just not really up to talking with people and my only friends are superheroes. But even then, I just don't like the performance. I don't like Ezra Miller as Barry. I never have, and I don't think I ever will. Simple as that. And I don't even like the show like that. I don't even like the show. I don't like the Flash show on CW. But even I can agree that Grant Gustin is just the better pick for the character, by far. At the end of the day, I understand why Michael Shannon, the actor who plays Zod in this film and in Man of Steel, said that doing this movie was just not rewarding at all. The climax of this movie was just a gigantic CGI cesspool where everything, the environment, the soldiers, the Kryptonians, the speedsters, Batman, everything, even Supergirl, everything looked fake. Everything looked fake. There was not a single part of it that looked real. There were close-up shots of the Flash that looked super fake. They even somehow managed to make Michael Keaton's Batman seem like the dumbest person ever. Trust me, go watch the movie and tell me that Batman would do what he does in this movie. I dare you. It just feels like a toy box. It doesn't feel like a climax. It feels like you got a bunch of kids to just like write the movie for you, and the way they wrote the movie was that they just like played with toys, and then people were like writing behind the scenes like, oh, that's such a great idea, yeah, let's do it this way, oh yeah, let's do it that way. I just don't understand. The soundtrack is actually pretty good. I mean, come on, it's Benjamin Wallfish, the same man who composed this banger. Listen, guys, I could talk about this movie forever, but that would require spoilers and an in-depth analysis, and I really do not want to go back and watch this movie again. I'm going to give The Flash 2023 a 3 out of 10, and we'll still wait for a good DC Cinematic Universe movie. James Gunn, if you can hear this, please do not mess him up. Please. You haven't done us wrong yet. Please. Now is your chance, all right? I know that you didn't have a lot of say on The Flash. You kind of came in a little late on that party. Please, this is it. Now is the time to bring DC back to basics and to give us the stories that we want to see on the big screen told right. Anyways, peace.